Imagine settling into your dream home, only to have an HOA tyrant named Barbara call 911 on your housewarming party, oblivious that half the guests are cops. Where are you reading this from? Drop it in the comments. We'll love seeing our freedom-loving neighbors far and wide. Moving into Willow Creek Estates was supposed to be my fresh start, a cozy escape after years of cramped apartments. But as the sun sank on my first evening, trouble appeared. Barbara, the self-proclaimed HOA queen, glaring at my moving truck like it had insulted her ancestors. Arms crossed, she marched over, not with a welcome, but with a laminated rulebook thicker than a Bible, listing absurdities. No flags bigger than a napkin, beige-only patio chairs, weekly grass height checks. My friends laughed when I showed them, thinking it was a prank, but Barbara's scowl said otherwise. Within a day, a fine slipped under my door, accused my moving boxes of obstructing community aesthetics. Then she cited my potted rosemary for unauthorized agriculture, her voice sharp enough to cut glass. Neighbors whispered tales of her reign. She'd fined pumpkins for being emotionally upsetting and demanded teal dog collars. Determined not to let her sour my new home, I planned a small housewarming, close friends, family, and police colleagues. Big mistake. I sent private invites, kept it low-key, but Barbara's neighborhood watch, more like suburban espionage, sniffed it out. 2 days before, she taped a demand to my door, $50 fee and 2 weeks' notice for gatherings over 4 people. I chuckled, recycled it, knowing she couldn't police my private property. Barbara, though, didn't take kindly to defiance. She patrolled that evening, muttering into her HOA notebook like a cartoon villain. Party day came, my driveway filling with unmarked cop cars, some guests in partial uniforms from their shifts. Barbara's blinds twitched like they had a pulse. Mid-appetizers, she crept by with her yappy terrier, Sparky, whose barking ironically broke her own noise rules. Then the doorbell rang. There stood Barbara, flanked by her minions, Helen and Carl, grumpy and sour, respectively. "You're violating Section 4.2, unscheduled gathering," she snapped, face pink with rage. I smiled, thanked her, and shut the door. 5 minutes later, sirens wailed, not my friends, but new ones. Barbara had called 911, reporting a massive unauthorized party with public disturbance and suspicious activity. When the officers arrived, they recognized me, burst out laughing, and joined the party, ribs and guacamole in hand. My captain made a show of inspecting the crime scene, declaring it safe. Barbara, gaping like a stranded fish, stomped off, heels clicking furiously. It was a win, but I knew she'd be back. She was. Within 24 hours, Barbara unleashed a fine storm. A cheap envelope on my mailbox claimed my garden gnome, a tiny turtle in the shrubs threatened, neighborhood uniformity, $75. Another cited guest cars for damaging communal grass by touching a curb, $100. By dinner, 3 more arrived. Excessive doorbell usage, allergic hazards, chocolate chip cookies, and unapproved exterior lighting, my porch lamp. It was harassment, plain and simple. I confronted her, witnesses in tow, but she batted her lashes, cooing about community standards. My mailbox became a war zone, the mail carrier joking about needing a flak jacket. Barbara tried roping in neighbors, like Mr. Larson, a Navy vet next door. She brought cookies and a clipboard of complaints, but he cut her off, threatening to turn his sprinkler on her. Undeterred, she photographed my trash cans, measured my lawn with a ruler, and cited my bird feeder for attracting unwanted wildlife, finches. One afternoon, I caught her in my hedges with binoculars straight out of a spy flick. I waved. She fled, tripping over Sparky, who yipped in protest. At HOA meetings, Barbara pushed ludicrous rules. No talking outside past 8 p.m., garage doors shut in 90 seconds. No holiday decor before December. She ran it on the HOA Facebook group about a new resident ruining community culture. Neighbors grumbled, veterans fined for flags. A mom harassed for her kid's bike but feared her wrath. Barbara, drunk on the HOA charter's vagueness, launched Operation Safe Streets, a plan for more cameras, cementing her control. I realized playing defense wouldn't cut it. Time to fight back. As a cop, I knew how to handle rule benders. I started attending HOA meetings, smiling, taking notes, and asking painfully detailed bylaw questions until Barbara squirmed. I volunteered for committees, suggested improvements, and helped enforce her rules, exposing her bias. Behind the scenes, I documented everything: fines, threats, her illegal cameras aimed at homes. Neighbors like Sarah, a teacher fined for Halloween gourds, and Mr. Larson gave affidavits about her intimidation. I filed city complaints about her cameras violating privacy laws and contacted HOA abuse lawyers, who loved my evidence pile. I hosted BBQs, excluding Barbara, sharing bylaw breaches, and passing out highlighted HOA rules. Slowly, neighbors turned skeptical. I gathered 70% homeowner signatures for a recall petition, while my lawyers sent Barbara a cease and desist for harassment. Barbara's big mistake was a mass email calling me a suburban anarchist, sent via the HOA list without permission, breaking rules, and the Can't Spam Act. My lawyer pounced. The city investigated her cameras, finding her after she slammed the door on an inspector. At her emergency meeting to shame me, her evidence me Facebook photo mowing the lawn flopped. I handed over the recall petition, notarized and signed. Her face went white. Her enemies list post got the HOA Facebook group banned for harassment, and her typo-filled flyers warning of anarchy went viral when teens recorded her park speech about bird feeder chaos for TikTok. The HOA Oversight Committee past victims of her fines rejected her claim the recall was invalid. Election day buzzed with energy. Residents lined up with lawn chairs, snacks, and no kings, no barbarous shirts. The vote was 83% to oust her. Cheers erupted as the new board shredded her fines in a shredder labeled Barbara's Throne. Barbara grabbed the mic, screaming about traitors, but Ron, a burly retiree, unplugged it and escorted her out to applause. Her house hit the market. She fled, posting online about Antifa rigging, liked only by bots. The new board, Real Neighbors, scrapped petty rules, planned playgrounds, and threw Freedom Fest, a block party with flamingo floats and violation parades. We named a community garden Barra Memorial for laughs. Sparky, Barbara's trembling terrier, got a happy ending. After Barbara ditched him with a cousin, Mrs. Ellis, a kind widow, adopted him. At Freedom Fest, Sparky pranced in a bandana, grinning, earning a Freedom Looks Good on Me banner. He became our mascot, with his Sparky Award for resilience. Barbara sued the HOA for emotional distress, citing lawn flamingo warfare in a typo-riddled filing. The judge sighed, dismissed it, and ordered her to pay $18,400 in HOA fees. Her accounts froze, her rental ended. Barbara tried reinventing herself in Pine Ridge, but her Liberty Mom Forever posts and familiar notes were Googled, exposing her past. Her next-door rant, confessing to fake fines, tire slashing, and noise complaints, was archived before deletion. Charged with vandalism and false reporting, her mugshot and lawnmower sabotage headline went viral. She took a plea, picking up litter near Willow Creek as neighbors honked gleefully. Freedom Fest added gnome armies and a Sparky parade, mocking her legacy. The HOA rewrote rules as common sense guidelines, banning weaponized pettiness and sanctifying gnomes. We created the Barbara Survival Guide, a sarcastic manual with legal tips and her flops, e.g., lawnmower panic. Liberty Bash, our housewarming redo, became a yearly blowout with flamingo scepters and roasts. A time capsule, buried under the Freedom Garden, held the guide, a flamingo, shredded fines, and a Liberty Oath for kindness. Home values soared 20%, our Barbara defeat a selling point. Media covered Freedom Fest, marveling at our gnome-filled paradise. Years later, a crumpled letter from Barbara arrived, half apologizing, half blaming, and offering consulting for our HOA. We laughed till we cried, replying with a flamingo pun letter sealed with a pink stamp. Keep soaring, far from our flock. It's read yearly at Liberty Bash. Sparky, now a ribbon-covered hero, led parades, proof even tyranny's props can find freedom. Our greatest revenge? Thriving so loudly Barbara became a footnote. We buried her rules, grew a community, and toasted with flamingo cups under cherry blossoms. Share your HOA saga below. Join the fight for sanity. Like, subscribe, and remember, a housewarming survived a Barbara. but a community buried her with laughter and pink flamingos.